everybody. It's happy Saturday. Did not sleep great last night. It was hot in that room. Yes, there's AC. No, it does not do much at all. In fact, it was warmer in my room this morning with the AC running all day than when I came into the room yesterday. So that was just peachy. But now we're down here for breakfast. Made myself a little sandwich out of the cold cuts that they had there. Got a little turkey, a ham, slice of cheese, got a little pastry, and then some Cocoa Puffs for breakfast. So I'm drinking a good old Coke Zero that I kept in our little mini fridge in the room. It's colder today than when I bought it. On the bus, on the way to Windsor Castle. And breakfast was pitiful. Dana, man, what do we have to say about breakfast?
Oh, it was not good.
Yeah. She-shaw. Yeah, yes. Not great. We've made it to Windsor. You can see Windsor Castle off in the distance there. It was a nice, quick little drive this morning.
These people feel like there's some sort of...
There's Eddie. Eddie made it. I should make Eddie hitch a ride with Doug. Doug will probably kill him. All right, we're gonna meet up with our local guide for the day, and he's gonna take us around Windsor and then take us around London. Okay, we just walked through Windsor Royal Shopping, or Windsor Royal Station. You've got a clock up there with the date of 1897 on it, recognizing the Diamond Jubilee of Queen Victoria, her 60th year in reign. Second longest reigning monarch in English history, behind Queen Elizabeth II. Looks like they're doing some refurbishment on the castle. But we'll be making our way over there next, and then we'll have some free time.
It's really large, so if you want to hear me, the first Windsor Castle was built by William the Conqueror in the 1080s. So William, the Duke of Normandy, had come and conquered, and he built a series of fortresses, of which the Tower of London was at the center of what looked like the face of a clock, with 9 fortresses all around it, of which Windsor was one, okay? So of that castle, nothing remains because it was made of timber, by the way. So the oldest towers date back to the early 1100s, the time of King Henry II. And that you can tell them apart because the oldest towers are the square ones. It was a little later that they realized that obviously round towers were better to get a better view, a better perspective, and also to deflect missiles. If you look at the curve, you should be able to see those metal rods. Those were used in the 18th and 19th century to stop the carriages drawn by horses, obviously, from slipping downhill. Because as you can see, this avenue is downhill. So look at them, you can see them really well now. Just above that, you can see the curfew tower with the clock, which obviously, and the bell, which used to ring the curfew, i.e. the time when lights should be turned off, and it comes from the French for couvrir feu, cover the fire. And in the early 1800s, it was made to look a bit more castle-like, in the romantic idea of a German castle by the last of the Hanover kings, King George IV, who commissioned the building of that pointy roof that looks like a snuffer, you know, when you extinguish a candle, basically. That's what it looks like. Back in the day, in the 1600s, during the Renaissance, the Tudor days, traitors would be hanged on that tower. So people who had committed a serious crime, for instance, stealing deer from Windsor Park. Deers which, of course, belong to the king and were part of the king's menu. If you were lucky and had friends, they would pull your feet to make you asphyxiate more quickly, as it takes quite some time for you to pass when being hanged, at least 20 minutes, during which time, of course, it's very uncomfortable and painful. So if you had friends, they would pull your feet to make you die sooner. Good. Right, okay, so we're gonna carry on that note.
Doug, if I ever get hung, will you pull my feet?
I'll pull on your feet, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'll kill you quicker, don't worry.
Statue of Queen Victoria out front. About to walk up Queen Charlotte Street, which is the shortest street in all of Great Britain. There it is. The end. Very quick there. There's the castle. After a solid 45 minutes waiting to get into the group entrance and through security, we are finally into the castle grounds. And the Union Jack flag is up top there, which means that the king is not in residence, which you wouldn't expect because today is the king's official birthday. So there will be lots of celebrations in London at Buckingham Palace.
It's the symbol of the most important order of chivalry in Great Britain and the oldest in the world. This was created in 1348 by King Edward III, and it's called the Order of the Garter. You might have heard of it. And the symbol is made out of the Red Cross of St. George on a white background. Obviously this is made of bronze, so you won't be able to see it, but take my word for it. Just like the English flag, okay? And then all around it, there's what appears to be the garter in question, which bears the motto of the Order of Chivalry, which is Oniswaki Malipons, which translates to shame on... Oh, there's the... Guards change now. What time is it? Jane, please.
10:52.
10:52.
Okay, all right, keep it short. Shame on he who thinks ill. And this allegedly was uttered by King Edward III during a masked ball when he was dancing with his favourite concubine, his favourite mistress, Lady Salisbury, and she would have dropped her garter, and to save her the embarrassment, the king would have picked it up, wore it himself, and pronounced these words. Now, this is not believed to be correct, because obviously the garter in question is what actually held the medal, the symbol of the knighthood in place. But I'll tell you a little bit more about the Order of the Garter in a few moments.
This is over there where that fan is one of the entrances to the king's private rooms here at the castle. So what you just saw was the ending of the changing of the guard. Those were the guards that had just gotten off duty and were leaving shift, walking up the hill there. And then down at the end of the hill that we're walking right now is where the new guard that replaced them are stationed.
I always prefer to do my presentation outside because I don't work well under pressure, okay? So, St. George's Chapel is...
Everybody on the pavement. Everybody on the pavement.
Sitting right outside of St. George's Chapel, which is behind me here. Was unable to film or take any pictures whatsoever in there, and they're very, very strict and they watch you, so it wasn't even worth attempting. That is where Harry and Meghan got married, so if you're familiar with that, you know the inside of it. It's also where Queen Elizabeth was just buried, where she's entombed, is right in there as well. So really, really serene and pretty neat to see.
Again, that beautiful Gothic style of architecture. That is the chapel of Eton College, founded in 1440 by King Henry VI.
Who said that?
Your son did.
Listen. You're a horse's ass. Who would say that?
Could not film inside the State Departments. Can't film anywhere indoors here, but you can see one of the beef eater guards on duty over there. And then you've got the castle green out here. This is, I showed you guys this area because there's that same white truck. Private entrance to the State Guard. Showed you from back behind that statue there. This was where we missed the changing of the guard earlier. The band that was playing was right to the right. They're not there anymore. But you've got the beef eater right out here. It's on duty. He was pacing back and forth on our way down here, but now he's still once more. Alrighty. We're out of the castle grounds. I think we're gonna grab a little grub here at the Duchess of Cambridge pub. Opened in 2011. Chad's birth year. Here's the inside of where we're eating. Ordered up at the counter. Sitting pretty large booth by the front. Eddie's with me. I remember to get Eddie out. Eddie likes to drink. And then got some fish and chips coming up. For the last time in London, some fish and chips, some mushy peas, lemon to season the fish with. That fish and chips was really, really, really good. Very glad I made that decision to have that for the final lunch that we get to choose of our own today. Now we're waiting for the rest of the group to meet back up, meeting at the clock tower that I showed you guys earlier outside of the station here. And then we're gonna drive into London and do a little bus guided tour of London this afternoon.
This is so nice.
We are in Richmond. Oh, you're fine. You're perfectly fine. And if this looks familiar, it is because it is the street that Ted Lasso lives on. This is the street that you always see him walking out of his apartment, meeting up with Coach Beard. Oh, losing our minds, or at least I am. Oh, that's awesome. They've got signatures on the back of Ted from the cast and people all around. Love it, love it, love it. So he'd be walking out here, and then the pub, the Princess Head here, is the one that is the Crown and Anchor in the film. Oh my gosh, I am walking. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
He's like, I wouldn't have said it the way you
Oh.
said it.
The bar, we've got to go in the pub. I'm losing my mind. This is unbelievable. I mean, you see this in every episode. This is just, this is awesome. Oh my gosh. Now, this is not the same pub that they use in the film, or not the film, but the video. But they do have AFC Richmond up there, which I took a picture of. Look at this. Now walking this way, back down the street. Obviously, Ted's apartment is fictional, does not actually exist up there. But you can hear, I'm just giddy. Gets me really excited.
Very pretty, very serene,
Peace pagoda.
very attractive piece of architecture there.
Statue of the Buddha.
Another piece by Sir Harry Moore, by the way, on the left. And in a few seconds on the right, you will see the majestic, imposing sovereign's entrance that takes inside the Victoria Tower. And this part of the Houses of Parliament is where the House of Lords sits. There's about 500 lords, which are a concoction of retired politicians, ex-prime ministers, bishops, entrepreneurs, people that are perceived to have look to your left, Westminster Abbey. That's the easternmost part of the Abbey in the perpendicular Gothic style of architecture, which was then mimicked by the Houses of Parliament. 350 years later, these two buildings were built 350 years apart from each other. This is the oldest part of the Houses of Parliament. This one with a simpler style, the lighter brick. It dates back to 1088. And here we got Big Ben, everybody. Mark, do it twice, please. That's where 40 kings and queens have been crowned since 1066. Don't make me laugh, because I need to focus. Including, most recently, of course, King Charles III.
Over here, right on the River Thames, you've got the HMS Belfast with some of the London skyline in the background. And then, of course, right over there, you have the Tower of London. The crown jewels are kept. And there she is, folks. Often confused to be the London Bridge. That is Tower Bridge. Probably one of the most famous landmarks in the whole of London. There's the walkie-talkie. And you can kind of see the top of it there, but that's the gherkin, shaped like the gherkin pickle. All right, we are in Mamuska's restaurant, a Polish restaurant, for dinner tonight. Got some water, we got something on the table. We don't know what it is. And dinner will be a surprise, so yeah. Dinner is served, a little fried chicken and chips. And then we've got some coleslaw at the middle of the table. The chicken and fries and coleslaw were all delicious. I had a very happy plate when I was done. Now, got some plain vanilla ice cream for dessert here. Dinner's over. We are out of the bus, as you can see, and walking across
3, 4, there you go.
Westminster Bridge. You can see the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben, of course, over there. Iconic view. Got the London Eye over here, which has been featured, of course, in many a movie. It was created to celebrate the new millennium and was only supposed to be around that year, but it was so popular and profitable that, you know, it's still up today 23 years later. And then that bridge right there in the background, that is Millennium Bridge, built the same year, of course, and probably most famously known for the scene in Harry Potter, the Half-Blood Prince, where the Death Eaters destroyed it. On the other side of the bridge, directly under Big Ben now, so you can see how massive it is in scale. Sir Winston Churchill here out in front on Parliament Square, right across from the Parliament building. You know, arguably, or maybe not even arguably, but he's in contention for being one of the greatest prime ministers of Great Britain of all time. Showed this view a little earlier from the bus, but since we got to be over here, I had to get him up close and personal. Abraham Lincoln, 407 years ago, our fathers came forth to conceive a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the equality of everyone. And I know I butchered the last bit of that, but the fact that all men are created equal. Here we go. Finally, a good shot of Westminster Abbey. Tried to get a good view of this from the bus. It was on the other side of where I was sitting and absolutely could not. So here's the beautiful entrance to probably the most famous and recognized church in Britain. We're on the tube. I was so busy trying to get everybody here that's going to Leicester Square, I completely forgot to vlog it. But yeah, we're on the tube. About to hop off and catch our second train. We're over here on the Circle line, the yellow line, getting off an embankment and hopping on the Northern line, head to Leicester Square, do some shopping. Tube transfer complete and done well. We got 2 stops and then we're in Leicester Square. While we were out at Leicester Square, another group, or a smaller section of our group, went up to Abbey Road. And so now what you're gonna see is a couple of our kiddos that took some videos, just a couple short videos, but anyway, so you can see the crosswalk, the very famous Beatles crosswalk on Abbey Road that they got their picture made for their album there. So enjoy that real quick.
Hey Coker Culture, it's me and Emma, and we are on our way to Abbey Road. We just got off the subway, kind of a scary ride, but we're like 5 minutes away from Abbey Road where the Beatles took the picture for their album cover. I'll be back when we get there. Hey guys, we made it to Abbey Road. We're taking pictures walking across right now. Trying not to get hit by the cars because there are some, but I think we're all gonna take turns taking pictures and stuff, and then we'll head back to the subway.
For those of you that have never been to Abbey Road, I hope you enjoyed getting to see that. I know it wasn't a lot, but give you a little taste of it at least, so that maybe one day you yourself can walk in the footsteps of the Beatles. And now back to the regularly scheduled evening of getting us back to the hotel. Welcome to Leicester Square, here in the entertainment and shopping heart of London. Pretty awesome. Got the gigantic Burger King behind me. Lots of places to buy candy, souvenirs, tons of places to eat. Just a nice place to kick back, relax. You got the green out there. We're just here for a little bit to kill some time before we make our journey back to the hotel to end our final night here in London. Back waiting on the tube. No mind the gap sign at this particular stop. Our tube journey is over. Now we've boarded a railway car and we're headed back out to our area of London via this car. Should be about 20 to 30 minutes on here. And then we've got to hop on a bus for a couple stops. And that is all she wrote for our last full day in London. Thank you so much to those of you that have been following this series along as we've made our way through the United Kingdom and Ireland over the last week. Truly, truly, truly appreciate all of you for coming along with us on these adventures, and I hope you've enjoyed them as much as I've had fun making them to show this to y'all. Tomorrow will be our travel day home, so I'll bring you along with me, but that'll do it. Tomorrow's last little bit will do it for this international trip. So if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like down below, as it goes a long way to help our channel. If you just stumbled upon this one and you're new to the channel, welcome. I appreciate you taking the time to see this. You may want to check out the playlist so you can get caught up on all the adventures that we went through this past week in Ireland and England and Wales. If you got any questions or comments, hit us up in the comment section below. And if you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing, as we're trying to reach our goal of 500 subscribers by the end of the year. And we are a little over 400 right now. Until next time, what's your why?